The sound of a slap echoed through the small compound, sharp and stinging. "You useless girl!" Amara's stepmother, Nkechi, screamed, her voice filled with rage. "You want to bring shame to this family? You will marry Chief Abina, and that is final." Amara clutched her cheek, tears welling in her eyes, a mixture of pain and defiance. "I will not marry a man old enough to be my grandfather," she cried, her voice trembling but firm. "I would rather die." Nkechi's eyes narrowed. "Then perhaps you will marry someone worse," she hissed, a cruel smile twisting her lips. "I will find the poorest, most wretched man in this village and give you to him. We will see how you like being a beggar's wife." In the heart of the village, under the watchful eyes of the elders, Amara stood beside a young man named Kale. His clothes were simple, patched in several places, and his hands were rough from hard labor. He was known in the village as a humble farmer, a man with little to his name but a small plot of land and a quiet dignity. Nkechi had kept her promise, finding what she believed to be the most unsuitable husband for her stubborn stepdaughter. She pushed Amara forward. "Here is your husband," she spat, her voice dripping with scorn. "Now you will learn the true meaning of suffering." Amara's heart sank, but as she looked at Kale, she saw not wretchedness, but a surprising gentleness in his eyes. He met her gaze and gave a small, reassuring nod. The villagers whispered amongst themselves, pitying the beautiful girl forced into such a lowly marriage. Amara took a deep breath, her fate sealed. Life with Kale was not what Amara had expected. Their home was a small, modest hut, but Kale filled it with a quiet warmth. He worked tirelessly on his farm from sunrise to sunset, yet he always returned with a kind word and a shared piece of roasted yam. He treated her with a respect and tenderness she had never known. He taught her how to tend to the crops, how to read the signs of the seasons, and how to find joy in the simple things. Slowly, Amara's sorrow began to fade, replaced by a growing affection for the man she was forced to marry. She saw past his worn clothes and saw a man of strength, integrity, and a deep, unspoken wisdom. Her heart, once guarded and broken, began to open up to him. One evening, as the sun set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, two men in royal guards attire rode into the village, their horses stirring up dust. They stopped in front of Kale and Amara's hut. The entire village came out, their eyes wide with curiosity and fear. The head guard dismounted and bowed low before Kale. "Your Highness, Prince Kale," the guard announced, his voice booming across the silent village. "The king, your father, is gravely ill. He has requested your immediate return to the palace." A collective gasp went through the crowd. Nkechi's jaw dropped, her eyes wide with disbelief. Amara stared at her husband, her mind reeling. Prince Kale? The humble farmer she had married was the missing crown prince of the kingdom? Kale turned to Amara, his gentle eyes now holding the weight of his true identity. "Amara," he began, his voice soft, "I left the palace to find a woman who would love me for who I am, not for my title. I wanted a life free from the deceit of the court." He took her hands in his. "I found that life, and that love, with you." Amara looked at him, the man she had come to love, and saw not a prince, but her Kale. Her husband. Tears of shock and joy streamed down her face. She had been cast out to marry a poor man, but fate had given her a king. As Kale, now adorned in royal robes, helped Amara onto a magnificent horse, Nkechi and her daughter ran forward, falling to their knees. "Your Highness, my princess." Nkechi cried, her voice now sickeningly sweet. "Forgive my foolishness. We are your family." Amara looked down at the woman who had caused her so much pain, her expression calm and unreadable. She said nothing, instead turning to her husband. Kale looked at the two women with a cold, princely authority. "You showed my wife no mercy," he said, his voice firm. "You will receive none from this kingdom." With that, he guided their horses forward, leaving Nkechi and her daughter in the dust. As they rode towards the palace, Amara leaned against her husband, a true princess not by birth but by heart, ready to begin her new life beside the prince she had married when he was just a poor village farmer.